And good morning. Welcome to Today at the Races, presented by Fidelity First. I'm Stan Salter, Keith Fustel here. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to your partner. The
Thank
pies
you.
are here.
I saw.
The most popular promotion in all of horse racing. That's right. Come out here today. Nobody does Thanksgiving better than Laurel Park. We have the turkey buffet going on up there. You come out, get early, get some cider and a donut now, and then you leave with an apple or a pumpkin pie today.
All right, you guys doing a little double duty, right? Early show today. Did a little weekly wrap up and look ahead to this weekend. And yeah, pumpkin and apple are the choices. And they looked like
What are
it
you
was
going
across
with?
the board. It was pumpkin. I go apple.
I go pumpkin. All right.
Yeah.
Pumpkin, your apple. Can't lose either way.
Nope.
Come on out here today. Get yourself a program. You leave with a free Thanksgiving Day pie. You can't beat that. Nice carryover today in the Rainbow Pick 6, a little over 3,600. That's going to start race 5 today on our Big 10 race program. Nice carryover in the Pick 6. $3,606. Let's take a look at the track conditions. We're on the turf today for some of the races. Races 1 and 3 are off the turf, and then races 5, 7, and 9. Let me make sure I have this right. Yeah, 1 and 3 were off the turf, and then races 5, 7, and 9, we stay on the turf. We're on the Exceller Turf Course for those 3 races. So good to have some nice turf racing today, and we'll have a nice fast main track today as well.
Absolutely. And this first race really stays intact, which is, compliment to the racing office, the horsemen, and good deal. We keep this as a very large competitive field in the opener. Track is fast. Yeah, track coming a little bit more fair, more even, Stan, over the last few days.
All right, let's get right to it here in race 1. Race 1 is off the turf. We kick off the early pick 5. Also, we start the rolling super hi-fi here in race 1. That's a low 15% takeout. And, excuse me, we kick off the early pick 5. Industry low 12% takeout with a mandatory payout on the early pick 5. So 5.5 furlongs here on the main track. We have a video spotlight of the 12. Jammer is going to be my top pick. Here's Jammer last time. I think, yeah, I know you liked him last time.
You're making me the turkey here, right on thing? Why don't
at-
you just put me right in the fryer, Stan?
No, you had a nice pick at 53 to 1. I'm trying to give you some credit here. And, do we like him on the main track today?
I am not going to use him today, and this is about as gut-wrenching of as a feat as I could, really ever experienced in racing. Giving this horse out at 53 to 1 just to get beat, a head and a neck for everything. The horse encountered trouble. You see, he had to navigate through some traffic through the last eighth of a mile, and even some trouble early into the turn. I just think turf is a better surface for Jammer.
I'll get an outside trip. Should get a nice trouble-free outside trip here with the 5-pound apprentice, Jose Bracho. I had him on top here on the turf. I left him on top here, hunch play.
Okay.
I think he's in good form right now. I think he'll run better on the dirt than he did back on that October 8th race, hopefully.
Yeah,
He's
like I
gonna
said,
need to.
this is a tricky little race to get you started with. No regrets, kind of looks like the horse, looks like the speed of the speed. Hasn't been out since late August at Saratoga, but kind of got cooked in a duel. Has, a good draw to the outside with some speed mainly to the inside of this horse. This horse may not necessarily need to lead either. Only try at Laurel. You go back to February of 2017. A nice little middle move going a route of ground. Maybe think this horse wants to be a sprinter. Going to be tough. We'll be around a long way. I come back to Bilko. Bilko wheels right back. Was last seen on the 17th of November. Didn't really run a step. I don't know what happened there. They're going to quickly drop this horse down for $20,000 this afternoon, hoping some, a duel develops on the front end to enhance the late run of Bilko. Good move coming back. You see this 1 to 7 days, a 13-horse sample at 30%. Not a real strong ROI, but the barn, as well as they're doing, I think God's just going to give Bilko a pass on the last race, and they may get away with that bad effort.
All right, well, we both like the 14 here. Gland Slam on the outside for trainer Gary Capuano. Ran an improved effort last out against Maiden 40 on the turf. Now he gets back to the main track. Keeps 7-pound apprentice Franklin Sabalos aboard. I think we'll get a nice outside trip here. He'll be better than what we saw against that Maiden special weight back early September.
No doubt, and that's proven to be a little bit of a key race. Best kind of trouble, Sue Me. Horses have come back and run well. Last time in another one, it kind of encountered trouble early and late in that turf race. Yeah, Gary Cap, they usually need a race or two. This horse now goes third time out and gets a good draw to the outside. I listened to that Preaching George race, the race goal again.
Right.
If there's anybody better than Rodman out there, please let me know who it is.
Preaching.
That's a lot of good announcements. But that call, the old at 14 to 1, did you get a chance to?
I think I was
Listen
off
to
that
it?
day.
Okay, just a great call. Go back and listen to it.
All right, so big field here. I think you have to go deep here in the opener if you're playing the early pick 5. Let's take a look here at the second race to start our early pick 4, going a flat mile on the main track. It's a nice 2 other than allowance condition, 2 other than optional, claiming 25,000 going a mile. And I'll make the 6 Southside Warrior my best bet today. Let's show you his last race in the Maryland Million Classic on October 21st. I think this is a key race, won by bonus points. It was a sharp winner that day for trainer Todd Pletcher. So I think Southside Warrior, very good second behind bonus points. I think this will be a nice claim for trainer Mike Trombetta. It gets back to a 2 other than condition today. I didn't need a rider change here on the 6. I didn't get the rider
I did not either.
of the 6, but I like the 6 Southside Warrior here from the Mike Trombetta barn.
Big effort at 9-1. We like this horse in the Maryland Million Classic. Overcame that 11 post. You know, outside was still good. You wanted to be there, but kind of made a move a little bit earlier than what I thought, and really sustained well through the stretch. Bonus points just a little bit better. Can he run that race back? That's the biggest key. That was a tough race. Will he kind of bounce a little bit off of that? I'm not so sure. Gets a great draw again today with 2 speeds to the inside. Wake Up in Malibu, all out of aces. The first half really could dictate this race. These 2 pretty good speed horses, they can kind of carry their speed as well. The 4 and the 5. A protect move for Jacobson. Had claimed this horse back in June and has this horse not in for the tag. I go to the 2, Dr. Tool. I know Ness hasn't been really firing on all cylinders of late. Horse is running a little bit better, but Dr. Tool is a horse he knows. He reclaimed this horse. His horse is a grinder. Has a good race 3 races back against two Cuban brothers who whistled in a 3 other than at Laurel. I think this horse is a beneficiary. Makes a steady run to get it done.
All right, I like the 2 a little bit. I'll use the 2 in my top 4. Make the rider on the 6 Southside Warrior. My best bet, Julian Pimentel, Trombetta's main jockey. Julian Pimentel will ride the 6 Southside Warrior. So it's a real nice race. Larry Jones been on a roll. He's bringing nothing but live runners down here, all out of aces, looking for his 4th win in a row. I use that runner in the exacta. I like the 1 Rare Candy, sharp win last out here at Laurel Park against First Level Allowance Company. Now taking the next step up for your leading trainer, Claudio Gonzalez. We'll get a decent price here on the 1 Rare Candy.
I think you will. Rarely do you get a real great price on Claudio, but again, in this field, I know this horse has run 2 bang-up races in a row. He's going to have to improve even a little bit more to get past a few of these.
It's tough to toss any of the runners in this race here.
They're all in pretty solid form. The question mark Wake Up in Malibu, you look at some of those back numbers, a 102 last October in New York. So he's fresh. Dave Jacobson hasn't kind of run the amount of horses he's run down here in the past, but he comes in with one that he does protect. So interesting little race number 2.
All right, one of our nice allowance features of the day early on in the card. Let's take a look here at the 3rd race. We're going 5.5 furlongs on the main track here for race 3. 25,000 starter allowance, optional claiming 25,000. The 7 Parade of Nations was entered main track only for this race for trainer Kieran McGee, and this 3-year-old son of Cal Nation in very good form right now. He's a 3-time winner here at Laurel Park, 3rd behind Blue Moon Ace last out at Delaware. So we haven't seen the horse since July 20th. Been freshened since then. A couple little maintenance works over there at Pimlico. We're both on the 7 Parade of Nations here in the 3rd.
A 5-time winner and basically a 3 in life, Stan, because he's a 3-year-old. And if he's right, it's over, basically. Right. Nobody can kind of, match his figures at all. But, that's why they run the race. He's also got Mr. October in here. I think Royal Crusader's a little bit better on the dirt. He finds himself a little bit too far back on the turf. The 2-back try is a decent effort at Delaware. I like him from off the pace. Willard upstairs woke me up. A little Love Machine, who I don't have in my top 4. This horse might be another one to use, kind of some sneaky good dirt for him if on the go back. But Parade of Nations looks awfully tough. But he's going to be a single on a lot of tickets in that early pick 4, early pick 5. You may want to go too deep. He's going to end up probably around 4 to 5 in this race.
All right, you have the we both like the 3 here. Royal Crusader with the Hall of Famer Edgar Prado aboard. A nice second 2 starts ago on the main track at Delaware. Ran okay last out on the turf. The horse is 0 for 4 on the turf. I think gets back to his preferred surface today. He should get a nice trip from the end, stalking trip from the inside.
Yep.
A nice little starter allowance there in the 3rd. Let's take a look here at race 4. Race 4 is going to kick off the middle pick 4 of the day. We're going 6 furlongs on the main track. Maiden claiming 40,000 for filly and mares. I go with the 3 Great Love Story, my top pick. Michael Match scored with a nice price debut winner a couple weekends ago. See if he can do it here with this 3-year-old filly by Great Notion out of a Not for Love mare. I like the breeding. I like the works up there at Fair Hill. I see 3 nice 5-furlong works up there at Fair Hill. We're getting Lasix and debut and leading rider Jevion Toledo on this filly.
A lot of precociousness in the breeding, too. Great Notions hitting about 18%, 19% with the first-time starters. The Dam unraced, but this is a horse that's a half-sister 2-year-old Buffs in Love who won it first asking, and I think came back and ran well. Right, was a trouble third in the Maryland Million Lassie. Great love story, catches a field, an okay field, some question marks. Schools Night Out hasn't been seen. Maybe Sinai Inspired will improve a little bit off of the debut, but the Mats runner the other day. Look at these workouts. The 26th of October, November 2nd, November 7th, November 10th, November 14th. They are just hammering this horse to death. She is ready to go, well prepped. I like Great Love Story right out of the box.
I'll use the 2 Hot Frisia in the exacta for trainer Ann Merriman. Fergal Lynch will ride this 3-year-old filly by Frisian Fire. Has a lot of early speed. The 6 furlongs, maybe a little bit of a question mark, but she has been going a mile in 7 furlongs, so she's cutting back in distance. The last time she was going short was 5.5 last July. She was a good closing third that day, so she was the beaten favorite last out. First time with blinkers. She ran a nice race. I think she'll get a nice trip from the inside. She doesn't have to go the front. Hopefully, Fergal can get a nice stalking trip on her today.
Yeah, looking at the rest of the horses that run, not showing a ton of speed. She'll be fresh, but I think she'll get that good tactical position regardless by the time they hit the far turn. Karen's an interesting type. We haven't seen Karen for 10 months, 11 months. This horse hasn't been out for a while, but before the layoff was running well. Ghouls Night Out is a horse that really intrigues me. The 5 for Hamilton Smith. A good debut back in December of 2016 behind Sine Wave. Had trouble in that race. Sine Wave's gone on to run, I think, second in a couple grade 3s. Tossed the race, January 15th of 2017. We haven't seen this horse since. Working forwardly, had some works down at Ellery before moving up here. Ghouls Night Out, I think, is going to be ready.
And we both like the 7 as well. Sinai Inspired by Rock Slide, a useful debut against Maiden Special Weight Company. Decent 4th that day. Now finds a little easier spot here against Maiden 40. Should get a nice trip with Sheldon Russell on the outside. Phil Schoenthal 18% with Maidens making their second start. So I think I think the 7's very live here at a decent price.
Yeah, it showed a little grit in debut. I like it when those horses, they're maybe not just still learning everything. Right. It was pumped along, and still kept trying. Really didn't spit the bit. This horse might stretch out and do well, going even a little bit more, maybe out to 7 furlongs or a mile.
All right, so nice maiden 40 there to kick off the middle pick 4. Let's take a look here. Race 5 starts the Rainbow Pick 6 today. Nice carryover in our Pick 6 today, $3,606. It starts here in Race 5 on the 10-race program. Let's take a look here. We're going a mile and 16th on the Exceller turf course here in the 3rd race. We're on the Exceller, in the 5th. On the Exceller rail at 70 feet here to kick off the Pick 6. Maiden claiming 40,000 for 3-year-olds and upward. And I go with the 10. Rule Yourself on top here from the Horacio de Paz barn. This is Sagamore Farm, homebred by Giants Causeway. Horacio Caramanos will ride, and a decent 3rd. 2 starts ago here on the yielding turf course at Laurel Park, going 5.5 furlongs, was closing that day, and that was the first start this year. Then went 7 furlongs last out against Maiden 40 up there at Belmont. Maybe that was a tough assignment for the second start. Right. Now this will be the 3rd start off the long layoff here at Laurel Park. Horacio Caramanos will ride. I see some works up there at Sagamore Farm. DePaz also stabled here at Laurel Park, so this horse has probably been here as well. Ran well on the grass before, so I'll go with the 10. Rule Yourself on top here in the 5th.
Yeah, Rule Yourself. He's got a little bit of hang, it looks like, to him late. Maybe this spot will do the trick, and he'll sustain a little bit better. Data Room comes in out of the Chad Brown barn, moves in there to Catherine Nielsen's barn. Is run against what I think is a little bit better company in New York, but look at that, first time with a trainer, only 5% off a 20-horse sample. It's tough to kind of get by on a horse. It's going to be a short price. Go to that last race back this summer, late August, at Saratoga. 8th place finisher Electro, if you want to key up horses, did come back and finished in front of Rule Yourself. So Data Room will be closing from the back of the pack. I'm going to go for some prices. Let's go towards the inside with the 2 Uncle Geo for Michelle Nevin. I'm going to toss the last. The thing that scares me, this horse did not get a lot of play off of the long layoff, laid off a year from September of 16 to September of 17. But there's not a lot of speed in here, and they don't drop this horse all the way to the bottom. From a barn that's not scared to jam a horse down the leg, maiden 16s, maybe Uncle Gio will be right. Just a little subtle drop in here can go ahead and dictate. Risky Town, expect a much better performance today. Some good efforts up in New York. Over the summer, you see that race behind Fantastic. Came in here in October, stumbled at the break, and just got in all kinds of trouble early. Never had clear sailing, and just kind of protected through the lane. Risky Town coming back in for the tag today. I think a better effort in store.
All right, I like the 2. I use the 2 in my my top 3. I overlook the Uncle Gio is going to have to do better today with the Barnes, Red Hot, Michelle Nevin. I overlooked the 3, Risky Town. I'll use the 8 in my exacta here. I Stand, second-time starter here for the Hall of Famer Jonathan Shepard, 3-year-old by Einstein. Took him a while to get to the races. The horse was wide on the first turn, probably needed a race. The winner of that race, River Deep, came back to win. I think this horse will run better second time going long on the turf for the Hall of Famer. And Andrew Wolfson stays aboard. We'll get a nice price here on the 8. And it wouldn't be the first time Shepard did this, so I'll use him in the exacta here.
That other part of the entry comes in off the AEs, just first-degree burn for Nielsen. So that entry could be awfully short in here. Good effort, first time on the grass down at Gulfstream Park West.
All right, so nice maiden 40 going long on the turf there to kick off the pick 6 in race 5. Let's take a look here at the 6th race to start off the late pick 5. No carryover, but as always, that industry low 12% takeout here on the late pick 5. Starts in race 6, going 5.5 furlongs here on the main track, claiming $5,000 for 3-year-olds or older horses. Never won 3, and I go with the 4, High Believing. My top pick here for trainer Ned Allard. 5-pound apprentice Jen Miller will ride his 3-year-old, who's taking advantage of the dual condition, going against older horses that have never won 3. Just throwing out that last race, the 12-5 for life up there at Parks, just too tough. Back to a reasonable level here today for the 4, High Believing.
Yeah, 8 the hard way, just scorched him up at Parks, and this horse really never picked it up at all. But comes back, you look at the first try into the barn, and do we have that stat on Ned Allard? Got a stat on Ned Allard over the last couple of years at Laurel Park.
I thought we had a stat.
Okay,
there we go.
There it is.
Yep.
Look at that. 7 for 18 with his dirt runners at Laurel over the last 2 years with an ROI of over $6. You're willing to just toss the last. I do think plenty of play will be on the 4, High Believing. There's some other speed in here, though, with Far From Awesome. You've got Nice Try coming off the 4.5s at Charlestown. JB's Big Red has some speed. I think the flow is going to be just perfect for Irish Handcuffs, shortening up from 7 to 5.5. Settle back and make one run to get it done.
All right, so we both like the 4 here. 4-3 for me, 3-4 for you, and we both like the 6 here as well. Scott Lake's 3-year-old, Far From Awesome, should get a nice trip here on the outside. Dropping to be the cheapest this 3-year-old's run. 3-0 by Awesome again. Been running against a little bit better company and should get a nice trip from the 6 hole today.
Absolutely. You like the heart that this horse is showing. He's willing to kind of go through some decent internal fractions and still fight it out to the end. A little shortening up won't hurt at all.
All right, nice early crowd showing up here for the race. Yeah. Everybody coming out to get their cider, coffee, and a donut. Get ready for the Thanksgiving buffet. We smell it cooking over here in the kitchen. All right, let's take a look here at the 7th race to start the late pick 4. We're going a mile and a 16th on the Exceller turf course here. You like the late pick 4. Let's take a look here, Keith.
Yeah, we've got a little ticket here. $36 will get it done. Starting in the 7th race, it was hard for me to get by the 2, Pamina, and the 11, Adult in the Room. They look like the 2 to beat in race number 7. Race 8, 3 deep with the 2, 4, and 7. We're going to spread in race 9. I do like Boyfriend Brian in here, but, you know, you got this horse coming second time. Foreign shipper for Emotion, going to try to go back to the turf. I think this horse will improve, but I'm scared of some other horses in here. We're going to spread in race 9 with the 2, 3, 8, 9, 11, and 12. Wrap it up in the 10th with the 4 and the 9, just 2 deep there in the 10th for a $36 ticket.
That's a nice sequence. Couple maiden special weights, nice allowance race there in the 9th. A beaten nickel to wrap it up. Let's take a look here at the first leg of this late pick 4. We're going a mile and a 16th on the Exceller with the rail at 70 feet here on the Exceller. It's a nice maiden special weight for 2-year-old fillies, and I'm going to go with the Michael Dickinson filly. I think we have a video spotlight of Pamina. Let's show you Pamina's effort here, her debut effort, going long on a yielding turf course. She comes from off the pace this day, had a 5-wide move with Edgar Prado aboard. Prado will be aboard today, so it's 2-year-old filly by Street Cry. a good-looking debut performance, and I think she'll run even better today for Augustin Stable and trainer Michael Dickinson.
Yeah, very encouraging debut. Settled back off of the pace on that yielding surface. Helena, the winner in that race, was a Delacour horse, I believe, going to the turf for the first time, was really kind of able to dictate things on the front end. But Pamina, a nice sustained run from the 3/8 pole once she got to the outside. Here's a stat for Dickinson. Second out maiden 2-year-olds over the last couple of years, 45%.
Yep.
$2.72 ROI.
All right, so we both like the 2. I'll throw the 5 into the mix as well. Unexpected Visit, 2-year-old filly by Include for trainer Graham Motion. An okay debut at Monmouth against Maiden Special Weight Company, going a mile. Only got beat 5 lengths up there. Improved a little bit going long on the synthetic at Prescal, so she has a good foundation under her. Now she tries the turf for the first time here for Strong Connections. I'll throw her into the mix here. It's a nice Maiden Special Weight.
Yeah, this is a good race. And the 11 adult in the room is better than that 49 buyer, what was posted, I believe. Visually, it was a strong effort. Made a couple moves. Something magical for Mary Epler. Took to the turf for the first time and really ran lights out. Ran fast every step of the way. Adult in the room made a couple moves, just couldn't quite go, but was very willing to the wire. Adult in the room, that was blinkers on. A major improvement off of a race that was very poor at Delaware, but the blinkers went on. The money showed at Delaware in the debut. They liked this horse. Good effort second out. I think this horse repeats, and she'll be right there.
We both like the 11, and I'll throw the 6 into the mix as well. Slews Alley, Live Oak stud, homebred here for trainer Mike Trombetta, going long on the turf for the first time today. Nice maiden special weight here in race 7. Another maiden special weight for you here in the 8th race. 4 2-year-olds going 6 furlongs on the main track, and Graham Motion as a well-bred. First-time starter in here by Super Saver out of a Broken Val mare. Some nice works up there at Fair Hill. Graham Motion, 18% with his debut runners. He gets Fergal Lynch to ride here. They're 28% with a nice positive ROI at Laurel Park. So talking to Fergal Lynch on the backside last week, he goes up to Fair Hill a lot and works a lot of horses for Graham Motion. So no doubt he's been on this horse in the morning before. Gets Lasix in debut. The 5 Bass Rock, my top pick here in race 8.
Yeah, horse of the mare, Party Vow. I think the lone win was on the turf. This is a second foal out of this mare, the first foal to race. Yeah, a couple firsters in here. Going to take some money, I believe, and I think the 2 is going to take some money as well. Cosmic Halo will be my top selection for Greg Sacco by Munnings. Very productive mare, Cosmic Wing. Multiple falls that have gone on to win plenty of money, but the stat that got me, Greg Sacco past 5 years, 11 for 48 with 2-year-old first-time starters on the dirt, 24-48 in the money. That's a real strong stat. Munnings, they love to win early.
Yep. I like the 2. I'll use the 2 in my top 3. 2 Swords. I have in the exacta here for trainer Mike Trombetta. 2-year-old by First Samurai. Some nice works up there at Fair Hill, including a Bullet half-mile work November 14th. That horse will be tough. The 7 May Newth had a very impressive debut sprinting on the turf. I love the horse going long in that last race. Maybe the horse didn't like a yielding turf. Gets to the main track today. They were high on this horse all along. We got Jevion Toledo to ride today. I think Maynooth runs a better effort today on the main track.
Maynooth might have got the 2 tighteners on the grass stand, because looking at the breeding, the siblings have clearly performed better on the dirt, not the turf. Sky Mazes can handle anything. Maynooth, I do like in here. Yeah, a couple firsters. Going to be very interesting to see what they got. The Trombetta horse, right? 3 winning siblings, a half to Inca Saint, who made about $230,000. So good little race, race 8.
All right, take a look here at the 9th race. A nice allowance feature of the day. It's a 2 other than allowance contest. Optional claiming $25,000. Going 9 furlongs here on the Exceller Turf course here in race 9. Rail setting at 70 feet. And I'm going to go with the 3, Do That Dance. We have a video spotlight here of his last win here at Laurel Park on a yielding turf course. He's been in good form. Prior to this, he ran well in the Maryland Million Turf. He was only beaten a half a length in the Maryland Million Turf. He gets in front by 3, turning for home in his last race, and has enough to go all the way. Jevion Toledo will ride again today for trainer Noah Abramson. I think this 4-year-old by Louis Gantors is in very good form right now. He's 7 for 9 in the money here at Laurel Park on the grass. Stepping up in class today. I think he'll get a nice ground-saving trip from the inside. I'm going to pick him on top, the 3, Do That Dance.
Yeah, mile and an eighth. Big question for a lot of these horses. There's a few of them that have won it, but, I mean, who's going to kind of keep on going, sustain? at this distance. I go to the inside, the Boyfriend Brian, a little bit of a stranger here for Grand Motion. First, a second time in the barn. Motion, though, with his runners moving from the foreign shippers, coming from the synthetics to the turf. Very strong. A small sample, 3 for 5 with a good ROI. And I went back and looked and did a little research on these horses over in Ireland. Back in 2016, this horse ran a Tipperary, ran a good second behind a horse by the name of Capri.
Right.
All right, Capri won the Irish Derby this year.
Nice
Group
horse.
1. Ran third in another group 1, and twice second. I think in one another Group 2 along the way. I'm figuring this horse just hated the synthetic surface at Presque Isle. Maybe that race will dirty up its form enough. You might get a little bit of value on Boyfriend Brian going to the preferred surface.
I use them in my top 4. You have to respect the connections there. Lynch in Motion. It's a nice race here. We both have the 12 in our exact on the outside here. River Deep's been in great form. Won 2 in a row since getting into the Phil Schoenthal barn. 3-year-old by Arch. Now the confidence is high. Carlos Quinones gets aboard today. River Deep probably your likely pace setter here in this race.
It's going to probably have to deal with Speed Gracer and a point that I missed and whiffed on, but my partner up there, Bill, very astute that he is. River Deep is jumping a condition.
Yep.
So it could have gone right back, right, Stanford, that regular A other than. It's deciding to go here into the two other. This horse kind of threw the knockout punch at the 3/8 pole last time. I was like, oh, he moved too soon, moved too quick.
Right.
He kept on chugging along through the stretch, and you're right. He's going to get a good trip sitting just off of or maybe on the lead. I think he's going to sit outside of Speed Gracer in here. 9th race shaping up to be a wide open affair. Very intrigued to see how this Boyfriend Brian goes second time for Motion.
Oh, yeah, nice feature of the day to kick off the late daily double. We're running short on time.
Okay.
Let's take a look here at the finale. Claiming 5,000 3-year-olds or order horses, never won 3, going 5.5 on the main track. And I go with the 4, Cohen's Cat, my top pick here. Taking a drop in class for trainer Jamie Ness. Jevion Toledo, your leading rider. Lots to like here. Those have been running well up there at Parks against 7,500 3 Life Company. Now takes a drop to the nickel today. Be the first start at Laurel Park for the 4, Cohen's Cat. I think in a winning spot here for trainer Jamie Ness.
Yeah, might get first run on the speed. Patty's Pirate is pretty quick, as is Slick Man. Still burning, has shown some speed in the past, as has Little Schmo from the inside. I think Cohen's got a slight drop. Will make a nice middle move to be a factor. I think the Iron Bank wears them all down. I think that last race is so bad we might be able to get maybe 5 or 6 to 1 on this horse. Line today, but we've got a scratch out of the race. Back with Hamilton. Knows how to ride this horse. Moves off of that dead rail last time. Gets to the outside. He'll sit back and circle and hopefully win.
Well, all right, you get a nice price there. 8 to 1 on the 9. The Iron Bank wide open, beat nickel there in the finale. All right, good luck. Come on out here today. Have our Thanksgiving buffet. Get yourself a program, and you leave with a pumpkin or apple pie for Thanksgiving. Great races today. Hope you can join us. Dave Robin coming up next with all of today's scratches and changes.
Good luck.